My boyfriend played a trick on me, so I broke up with him. I live-streamed selling his family's down jackets for 12 hours straight. Finally, exhausted, I gulped down a glass of water. To my shock, the moment I took a sip, I spat it out instantly. At the same time, my throat burned as if it had been set on fire. My boyfriend pulled his best friend, a woman, from behind him, pointed at me, and burst out laughing. Ha ha ha, I told you, she can't handle spicy food like we can. It was just a little chili oil, and look what it did to her. I didn't have time to pay attention to him. I immediately grabbed my car keys, preparing to rush to the hospital. He had no idea that I have a sensitive reaction to spicy food. Even a tiny bit can cause severe swelling and inflammation in my tissues. But my boyfriend wouldn't let go. He held me back. No way, why are you overreacting? It was just a joke. Do you really need to make such a big deal out of it? In the end, my throat was severely damaged, leaving me unable to speak for 3 months. But my boyfriend didn't know that if I couldn't speak for 3 months, his family's down jacket factory would go bankrupt without me live streaming to sell their products. I had been live streaming from 8 p.m. until 8 a.m. the next day, 12 hours straight, feeling utterly drained. After bidding farewell to my audience, I immediately left the live stream room. Another host temporarily took my place. My head was spinning, my limbs felt like lead. I collapsed onto the sofa, grabbing the thermos on the coffee table. I'd been talking nonstop for 12 hours, and my throat felt scorched, aching intensely. Drinking water didn't soothe the pain. Instead, a searing, fiery sensation erupted in my throat. I spat out the water, coughing violently, my throat throbbing even more. Ha ha ha, a loud burst of laughter suddenly echoed. Before I could even react, my boyfriend, Ethan, approached with his best friend, Lily. They walked, laughing, Ethan seeming to shed tears from his mirth. I told you she can't handle spicy food like we can. It was just a little chili oil, and look what it did to her. He pointed at me, nudging Lily beside him. Look at her, she's all spiced up. It's hilarious. Lily covered her mouth, giggling. This is the first time I've seen someone react like this, to just a bit of chili, haha. I snatched the thermos, looking inside. Chili flakes floated on the surface. No wonder it was them. I grabbed the cup of water and rushed toward them, furious but couldn't utter a word. My voice was gone, I couldn't speak. My enraged expression only provoked Ethan further. What are you doing? I was just joking with you. Do you really need to react so excessively? Don't you know how to take a joke? My throat still felt like it was on fire, burning intensely. The fire of anger within me flared even more fiercely. I threw the remaining water in the cup straight into Ethan's face, then turned to call Chloe. Ethan lunged, gripping my arm tightly. Are you going to call the police? Over such a trivial matter, you'd call the police? Lily also stepped forward, advising, That's right, Ava, we were just joking with you. Don't be so serious. She sighed, shaking her head, feigning disdain as she chided Ethan. I told you girls are so troublesome, you shouldn't joke around with them. Now look, she wants to blow a small matter out of proportion. What are you going to do? I yanked my arm from Ethan's grasp, grabbed my purse, and headed out. Ethan refused to let go, chasing after me and grabbing my wrist. What's wrong with you? Do you really want to call the police? Seriously, why are you overreacting? It was just a joke. Do you need to go this far? No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't free myself from Ethan's grip, so I kicked him directly in the groin. Ah! Ethan cried out in pain, clutching his stomach, doubling over, his face as pale as a pig's liver. Ethan, are you okay? Lily cried out, heartbroken. Supporting Ethan, she yelled at me, Ava, how could you kick Ethan there? What if you damaged him? Can you bear the responsibility? I turned and walked away quickly, texting Chloe to call the police, then rushed to the hospital for a thorough throat examination. Finally, the doctor told me that my throat would need at least 2 or 3 months to recover before I could speak again. With all the examination reports in hand, I asked the doctor to write a medical certificate and sign it. My friend Chloe arrived with the police. Chloe was furious, scolding Ethan fiercely in front of the officers. The police gently cleared their throat, interrupting Chloe, then asked me to lead them to my company to gather evidence. However, Ethan putting chili into my thermos wasn't caught on camera. Moreover, we were a couple, so his fingerprints on my thermos were perfectly normal. The police officer sternly rebuked Ethan. How old are you, and you still can't tell the difference between right and wrong? Is this something to joke about? Didn't you know your girlfriend can't handle spicy food? Now, I'm asking you to compensate your girlfriend for all her medical expenses and emotional damages. Do you agree?" "Ethan truly meant no harm," Lily interjected, defending him. "Officer, you know they're a couple. Ethan couldn't have intentionally harmed her, right? It was truly just a joke." "Jokes also have limits," the officer snapped. "What kind of joke is it if only you find it funny? You're all adults. Don't mistake your lack of upbringing for humor. Don't you understand this basic principle?" Lily pouted, annoyed. Suddenly, she pointed at me. "Then, what about her almost kicking Ethan's precious part? Ethan could call the police too, couldn't he?" Hearing this, Ethan groaned. "What are you saying, Lily? Ava is my girlfriend. How could I call the police on her?" Lily gave Ethan a cold, disappointed look. "You treat her as your girlfriend, but does she treat you as anything? It's such a small matter and she calls the police. No wonder people have always been prejudiced against women, saying only women and petty people are hard to deal with. It's because there are too many women like her." She grew more agitated as she spoke. "Ava, can't you be a little more magnanimous? I'm begging you, okay? Can you at least save face for women?" Chloe was so angry she wanted to lunge at Lily and curse her, but I held her back. I stepped forward and slapped Lily straight across the face. Smack, a crisp sound. Lily clutched her face, staring at me in disbelief. "Ava, you crazy woman." Ethan's anger also completely erupted because of that slap. He pulled Lily behind him, shielding her, looking at me with reproach and disappointment. "Ava, you've gone too far. Lily is right. You women are truly petty. Now I finally see your true colors." "Like what you see? Go home and look at your dad." Chloe rushed forward in front of me, pushing past Ethan, glaring at Lily behind him. "Aren't you so magnanimous? You just got slapped once, but Ava lost her voice and hasn't said anything. What are you blabbering about here?" Chloe pushed Ethan aside, leaning close to Lily's face, scolding her fiercely. "Can't you be a little more magnanimous? I'm practically begging you, okay? And I advise you to read more books. If you're illiterate, don't try to sound cultured online. Look up the meaning of only women and petty people are hard to deal with before you speak, all right? The moment you open your mouth, I can smell the stench of sourness." Of course, Chloe didn't spare Ethan either. When Ethan was about to speak up for Lily, she immediately turned to him and unleashed a torrent of criticism. "You need to make it clear who your girlfriend is. What kind of boyfriend are you, showing off like this? You let your girlfriend lose her voice, and then you let someone else impose their morals on her? You should know that you were in the wrong first." Chloe paused for a moment, then turned back to Lily. "Is he your ancestor or something, or did he give you some benefits? He made someone lose their voice, and you don't even dare to fart, instead blaming the victim. Are you that obsessed with men?" Lily immediately fell silent, her face flushed crimson. Ethan also deflated, walking over to me, cautiously opening his mouth. "Ava, I really didn't think much of it. It was just a joke. I didn't expect the consequences to be so serious." Chloe shoved him away. "Get lost. Still saying you didn't know the consequences were serious. Let me ask you, did you know Ava can't eat any chili? I also know you can stab someone to death with a knife. What if I stabbed you once and said it was a joke, claiming I didn't know the consequences would be so serious? Can I do that, Ethan?" I was truly fortunate to have Chloe by my side at that moment. Otherwise, unable to speak, I would have been completely bullied by those two. "But what about her almost kicking Ethan's thingy?" Lily mumbled softly. Chloe was furious, about to rush forward and argue with Lily, but I pulled Chloe back and pointed the surveillance camera to the police. The camera footage showed Ethan holding me tightly. I couldn't break free no matter how hard I tried, which was why I resorted to physical action. I grabbed Lily, pushing her face towards the computer screen. Chloe, cooperating perfectly with me, said, "See clearly now." "Do you have anything else to say?" Lily forcefully pushed me away, running behind Ethan. In the end, it was the police who mediated, asking Ethan to promptly compensate me. Ethan said, "Of course I'll compensate. Even if Ava wasn't injured, if she wanted money, I'd give it to her." I rolled my eyes in disgust. Seeing this, Chloe continued to be my spokesperson. "Just give us the money. Now, you intentionally caused harm and will be administratively penalized. Don't act so noble. If you were truly enlightened, would Ava's voice be in this state?" Ethan lost a bit of face, his heavy gaze sweeping over me. "Ava, I've agreed to compensate. Can you control your friend's mouth?" Chloe snorted disdainfully. "I'll say whatever I want. What does it have to do with you? Why don't you control your own brain? If you knew how to think, would Ava have lost her voice like this? Would she be pressured by others' morals? Ethan sighed heavily, walking up to me, asking in a cold tone, Ava, I'm asking you, between me and her, who do you choose? He was clearly referring to Chloe. How dare he have the nerve to ask me this question? People say one shouldn't belittle themselves, but I genuinely wished Ethan would belittle himself a little. Perhaps then he'd realize his place. This time, I didn't need Chloe to speak for me. I took out my phone and typed 2 words. Break up. Ethan took a deep breath. You want to break up with me just over this trivial matter? I ignored him, pulling Chloe along and leaving. Behind us, Ethan's voice echoed. Ava, seeing that you've lost your voice, I'm giving you a chance. If you dare to talk nonsense about breaking up again next time, I really won't need you anymore. Chloe drove me home. Less than 2 hours later, 1 million yuan had been transferred to my account. I showed it to Chloe. She snorted. At least he has some conscience, not trying to dismiss you with loose change. But it's only 1 million yuan. You're a top streamer. You can earn that much in one night. Chloe suddenly slapped her thigh, looking furious. No, what about compensation for lost income due to absence? You won't be able to work for at least 3 months. How much money will you lose in these 3 months? Damn it, I thought that jerk Ethan was being generous earlier. I smiled silently. It was truly good to have Chloe by my side at this moment. I typed on my phone, don't be angry anymore. It's not worth it. This is fine. Besides, I also get to rest for a while. During the time I was live streaming for Ethan's family, I wasn't even taking advertising fees. I nearly worked myself to exhaustion. I really should rest and recuperate for a while. Chloe rolled her eyes. You're comfortable, all right? It's not me who can't talk. I'm telling you, you can't forgive that jerk. Otherwise, I'll look down on you forever. I nodded, smiling, and continued typing. Anyway, it's already like this. Being angry isn't good for my health. My throat is in this state, so I need to rest and recover even more. Chloe agreed. That's true. A moment later, my phone rang. It was Ethan's father, Mr. Jiang. Ava, Mr. Jiang's voice was cheerful, with a hint of flattery. I've heard everything. I'm truly sorry on behalf of that unfilial son of mine. I apologize, dear. Are you home now? Ethan and I are downstairs at your apartment complex. I thought it best to clarify some things once and for all, so I let them in. The moment he saw me, Mr. Jiang pulled Ethan in front of me and pushed his head down. You beast! Apologize to Ava right now. You made Ava lose her voice. Kneeling to apologize is what you deserve. Ethan discontentedly shrugged off his father's hand. I already gave her 1 million yuan. She's not mute. She'll be able to talk in 2 or 3 months. Isn't that sincere enough? You, Mr. Jiang's face turned beet red. Suddenly, he winced in pain, clutching his chest, then collapsed. Ah, Chloe gasped, waving her hands as if shooing a fly. Go quickly. Don't die here, it's bad luck. Ethan supported his father, glaring at me reproachfully. Ava, is this your good friend? You let her talk to my father like that. I took a deep breath, typed a message to Chloe asking her to call an ambulance, then asked Chloe to explain the situation for me. Chloe cleared her throat softly. Mr. Jiang, if you know everything that happened, then you should understand Ava's current condition. She definitely cannot continue live streaming to sell down jackets for your family. You should quickly find another streamer to replace her. Mr. Jiang clutched his chest, panting for a long time before he somewhat calmed down, his voice weak and clearly pleading. Ava, I know you can't speak now, so you should rest and get well. Furthermore, you've helped me so much and haven't even taken a single cent in commission. I'm truly grateful to you. My beast of a son did something like this. It's right for you to be angry. Even if you beat him to death, I wouldn't blame you one bit. Ethan's father pursed his lips, his tone filled with disdain and annoyance. Father, why are you saying these things to her? You're an elder, a big boss. Why do you need to humble yourself to a mere streamer girl like her? He stepped in front of me. Ava, my father has already said all that. Now both my father and I are giving you a step to climb down from. If you're sensible, hurry and come down. Acting too high and mighty isn't a good thing. Be careful not to fall hard. Whack, Mr. Jiang kicked him behind the knee. What do you know, you? Ethan reflexively knelt before me, his expression briefly flustered before he immediately stood up. Mr. Jiang seemed to age decades in an instant. He walked past Ethan and stood before me, his eyes brimming with tears. Ava, please, I'm begging you. You don't have to speak, just sit in the live stream and I'll have another streamer do the talking. His eyes were filled with hope and supplication. That factory was his life's work. Domestic brands were already difficult to run, especially now with the severe economic downturn where people were afraid to spend. He had placed all his hopes on me. Besides, Mr. Jiang had always treated me well. Just as I was starting to waver, Ethan suddenly pulled his father back. Dad, don't beg her anymore. This morning she even said she wanted to break up with me. If you beg her like this now, won't it just make her even more arrogant? He looked at me with a stern expression. Ava, you really are taking an inch and wanting a mile. You're not even married into my family yet, and you dare to throw a tantrum in front of your future father-in-law. If we really let you through the door, who knows if you'd still respect anyone? You're just a small-time streamer. Go outside and ask around. Which wealthy family would let a lowly streamer like you into their home? Ethan, Mr. Jiang roared, raising his hand to strike him. However, Ethan's words completely shattered the tiny bit of softness and hesitation that had just sprouted within me. I lowered my head, typed on my phone, and showed it to Mr. Jiang. Mr. Jiang, Ethan and I have broken up. I no longer have any relationship with the Jiang family. I will not livestream to sell your family's down jackets anymore. Please take Ethan and leave my home. I need to rest. Mr. Jiang had been willing to humble himself and beg me, but at this moment, he also understood that his humility held no value for me. The down jacket factory was at its end. Mr. Jiang sighed, shaking his head. Perhaps this is fate, Ava. I understand you. You rest well. I'm leaving. He didn't even spare Ethan a glance, leaving on his own. Ethan was utterly clueless. He was just a spoiled rich kid who never cared about the factory's affairs. I had initially dated him because he was fun and could make me happy. Now, it seemed he was utterly worthless, just a pretty face, not worth a dime. I typed a message for him to see. Your family's factory is about to go bankrupt. If you have any filial piety left, hurry and find another famous streamer to see if anyone is willing to live stream and sell down jackets for your family. Ethan's face was incredulous. How can that be? My dad never told me. No way. Chloe beside him rolled her eyes. What good is it to a rich kid like you? Do you have the ability to turn things around? Get lost, you waste. Ethan was panicked but stubbornly refused to believe my words, shaking his head in self-deception, then ran out to chase his father. After they left, Chloe asked me, do you want to post an announcement? You can't live stream for 3 months, so you should give your fans an explanation, right? I nodded, posting an announcement on my personal account saying that my voice was hoarse and I needed 3 months of rest. My fans all commented, telling me to rest well and that they would wait for my return. Chloe was still very angry. You really are too kind to your own detriment. If you had signed a contract with another company, the company definitely wouldn't let Ethan off the hook. I patted Chloe's shoulder, smiling at her. It's all right, don't comfort me anymore. You're the one who's suffering, Chloe said, annoyed. Chloe stayed with me that evening. I went to bed very early. I couldn't even remember the last time I had gone to bed so early. For several years of live streaming, I earned more and more money, but my health also deteriorated day by day. If it weren't for that, my voice wouldn't have become so severe just from eating a little chili, leading to loss of speech. Nevertheless, I still hated Ethan intensely. The next morning, I ate a light meal and then went to the hospital with Chloe again. This morning, I could already make sounds. After the doctor repeatedly confirmed that my voice could recover 100%, I was completely relieved. On the way home, I told Chloe, you've had a tough time accompanying me these past days. Otherwise, if I went out to hail a cab, the driver wouldn't be able to hear what I was saying. Chloe burst out laughing. Your voice is probably even funnier than Doraemon's now. Back home, I began my recuperation, watering flowers, reading books, generally relaxing both physically and mentally. Chloe suddenly gasped in surprise. Before I could ask anything, she showed me her phone. The Jiang family had indeed found a new streamer to replace me. It was Lily. When I live streamed, the viewership in my room always stayed above 100,000. At peak times, it even reached 1.2 million viewers online. But now, her live stream room had a sparse 100+ viewers. It was truly pathetic. Lily was live streaming very seriously. Suddenly, someone on the screen asked, "Where's Ava? Ava always live streamed before." After a few seconds, Lily saw the question. She put down the down jacket, picked up her water bottle, leisurely took a sip, and then spoke. "Looking for Ava. Are you here to buy down jackets or to chase idols? If you're here for idols, click the top left corner to exit and go find her on Ava's account. Your Ava isn't live streaming sales here anymore. She's a famous streamer. How could she sell domestic goods? Domestic goods are too provincial, not worthy of a top streamer like her. Her sarcastic and mocking words seemed to pierce through the screen. Soon, the hashtag #AvaProvincialDomesticGoods trended on Hot Search. Looking back at Lily's livestream room, the number of viewers quickly soared into the tens of thousands and was still increasing. I watched the livestream for half an hour straight, and no one intervened. I couldn't believe Ethan and his father were unaware of this. The little sympathy I had for the thick-skinned old man, Ethan's father, completely vanished. The comment section under my post was also flooded with indignant netizens. Looking down on domestic goods, who do you think you are? You're even more disgusting than that expensive trick. Boycott, boycott. I was so angry I couldn't breathe. My stomach felt blocked, extremely uncomfortable. I immediately called my company, telling the PR team to handle it right away. I own the company, everyone worked for me, but we still needed to meet to discuss the optimal PR strategy and its implementation schedule. Chloe's angry shouts rang in my ears. She had left the livestream room and was calling Ethan. You bastard, can you be any more despicable? Taking advantage of Ava being unable to speak to bully her. Is that it? I warn you, Ethan. Tell her to apologize to Ava immediately. Your entire Jiang family must apologize to Ava. Otherwise, I'll go all out against you. Ava doesn't want to hear your voice. Hearing it makes her nauseous. Hearing this, I snatched Chloe's phone and pressed it to my ear, opening my mouth to speak in my hoarse voice. Ethan, tell your father that his factory can just wait to shut down. I don't know if Ethan heard what I said, but I meant it. If I don't make their factory shut down, then my surname isn't Song. I hung up and immediately contacted my company staff, asking them to get in touch with a factory. I would also make my own down jackets. I received a WeChat message from Ethan. Ava, don't think that our Jiang family can't survive without you. No matter how capable you are, you're just a small-time streamer on the internet. Immediately after, his father also called, his tone still full of remorse. Ava, I'm truly sorry, but I have no other choice. If the down jackets don't sell, the factory will have to close. So many workers are waiting for me to pay their salaries. I also have a responsibility to them. I can only let you suffer this injustice. I burst out laughing in anger, speaking in my hoarse voice. Didn't your son tell you? Mr. Jiang paused, his voice turning a little colder. Ava, I'm a businessman. I have to fight to the very last moment for my factory. You've already broken up with Ethan, so you no longer have any relationship with the Jiang family. I don't need to save face for you anymore. I laughed. This time, I wasn't laughing out of anger, but genuinely finding the two Jiang father and son too humorous. Had Mr. Jiang forgotten how pitifully he cried when he came to beg me before? I hung up. Businessmen have to be ruthless and unscrupulous, right? Fine, then let's wait and see. While the PR team was still developing a crisis management plan, I led the police directly to Lily's livestream room. At this point, her livestream room had over 90,000 viewers. My popularity was indeed easy to leverage for attention. Lily was enthusiastically promoting products, loudly and passionately, in front of the camera. Everyone, support domestic goods. Long live domestic goods. Let's save this domestic brand that's about to go bankrupt. Two police officers walked straight in and said to Lily, Lily Lin, you have infringed upon Ava Song's right to honor. Ava Song has also sued you for defamation. We invite you to come to the station with us. Lily, still holding a down jacket, instantly turned pale upon hearing this. What did I do? The police played a segment of her live stream. Her voice blared from the phone. It was the part where she said I discriminated against domestic goods and called them shoddy. Currently, there are nearly 100,000 viewers in the live stream, which has caused significant negative impact on Ava Song's reputation. Lily Lin, please come to the station with us. With the police at her doorstep, Lily naturally couldn't escape. She swallowed hard, stammering defensively. I didn't mean it. I just spoke casually. I really didn't do it on purpose. These two police officers were the same ones who handled my and Ethan's case before. They had initially maintained their composure while working, but after hearing Lily's prevarications, they finally lost their temper. Nearly 100,000 people in the live stream, and you say you spoke casually, meaning you don't have to bear legal responsibility anymore. Lily's eyes welled up with tears. I really didn't mean it. I won't dare to do it again next time. All right, just come with us for now. You can talk at the station, the police officer said sternly. Lily could only obediently follow the two officers. As she walked past me, she glared at me with hateful eyes and said to the other staff, "You guys, quickly call Ethan. Find a lawyer to bail me out." HMPH, even at this point, she was still hoping Ethan would rescue her. Ethan, the entire Jiang family was hanging by a thread now. The livestream room was in an uproar. It's only the beginning of the year, and we're already getting such drama. The Ming scandal isn't over yet, that celebrity hasn't even returned from Thailand, and now another rising hot girl gets busted live on air. So dramatic. Can't someone just slap that foul mouth shut? That's not just a foul mouth, that's a malicious heart. As I was reading netizens' comments, Ethan ran up to me. "Ava, you're too much. Lily just spoke casually. You called the police over a joke. If she goes to jail because of this, you've ruined her entire life." I curled my lip into a cold smile at Ethan. "You should worry about yourself and your Jiang family too." Ethan intentionally leaned closer to my ear. "What did you say? Speak up, let's hear it. Mute now, are we?" His mocking expression was clearly ridiculing my pitiful, funny voice. But to me, he wasn't ridiculing my voice. He was ridiculing the fact that I had once cherished and loved him. His family's down jackets weren't cheap, but Ethan was definitively cheap, a true bargain. My phone rang at that moment. It was my PR team. The PR team chose exactly 8 p.m. to release a press statement. It not only recounted the entire process of how my voice was damaged, but also directly tagged the official store accounts of the Jiang family's down jacket brand. It stated that I live-streamed for them without taking any fees, and the commission was merely symbolic. This was because Ethan and I were in a relationship, and Ethan's father had asked for my help. I couldn't refuse. But because of a joke by Ethan and Lily, and in a situation where Ethan clearly knew I couldn't eat spicy food, he put chili paste in my water cup. I had already live-streamed for 12 hours straight, my voice was overworked, and then I drank that cup of water with chili paste. My voice immediately went out. All of this was just a bet between Ethan and Lily, just to entertain his best friend. Not only was there a press statement, but there was also surveillance video from that time. The image of Ethan pointing at me and laughing hysterically was clearly visible under the high-definition surveillance camera. Netizens on all platforms clearly saw his vile face at that moment. This video was sent to me by someone from the Jiang family's live streaming team. She had also quit her job there. When I was still live streaming for the Jiang family, she had wanted to resign due to the excessive workload and her body's inability to cope. I had given her 30,000 yuan, plus a doctor's medical certificate. Ethan's criminal evidence was clear as day. There was no denying it. As soon as the press statement and video were posted, public opinion online completely turned. Netizens again flooded the official account of the Jiang family's down jacket brand. "Your family's down jackets are really shoddy. Everyone, don't watch anymore. Return the goods. I'm an Ava fan." When she first became famous, she faced a wave of anti-fans, but time has proven everything. Ava is a fresh breeze in the live stream sales industry. She only sells domestic goods, and she truly helps us get discounts. Product quality is also absolutely guaranteed. Please cherish such a streamer. Don't let Capital bully her this time. We will definitely defeat Capital. Go, Ava. 2 hours later, the official account of the Jiang family's down jacket brand locked comments, but with such massive popularity, how could marketing accounts ignore it? The more comments were locked, the higher the popularity soared. Soon, the down jackets received a large number of returns and negative reviews. At the same time, I was also registering my own down jacket brand. When I first entered this industry, I knew some influencers would, after boosting a famous brand, establish their own brand, produce similar goods, and then stop selling for the old brand, switching to selling their own products. The old brand would lose market share to the new brand and soon collapse. At that time, I despised this kind of business practice, but now, thinking back, what was I so noble about before? I needed to vent my anger. I needed to finish them off. At this point, the police called me to the station. It turned out they wanted to ask if I wanted to mediate with Lily. This time, Lily was truly terrified. She cried and begged me. "Ava, I really just wanted to help the Jiang family's down jackets increase sales. I misspoke for a moment. I don't understand the law. Can you give me a chance? I looked at her coldly. I've already given you a chance, but you didn't cherish it. Don't you like joking around with Ethan? Actually, you probably still find my voice funny now, right? It's just that you're about to face legal consequences, so you can't laugh. You fundamentally don't realize where you went wrong. You're just afraid of going to jail, that's all. I will not forgive you, nor will I give you any more chances. After saying this, I turned to the police and said, I do not accept mediation. Although my voice was still a bit hoarse, my words were incredibly decisive. On the way out of the police station, Ethan's father called again. I didn't answer, hanging up directly and simultaneously blocking all contact from him and Ethan. As soon as I arrived at my company, I saw Ethan causing a commotion outside. He was blocked by security and couldn't get in. Seeing me, he aggressively rushed over. Ava, do you need to be so heartless? Your voice isn't incurable, but now all platforms are demanding that my family's down jackets be taken down. They can't be sold anymore. So many down jackets are in stock, no one will even take them for free now. Are you satisfied? I smiled and nodded. Satisfied? Of course I'm satisfied. Ethan took a deep breath, pointing at my nose, and said coldly, Ava, I really misjudged you before. You fundamentally don't deserve my love. A vicious, narrow-minded, vengeful woman like you should just stay cocooned in your home for the rest of your life. He suddenly burst out laughing, his tone full of sarcasm. But now your tactics are seen by the entire internet. Men across the country know you're a shrewish, difficult woman. No one will ever want to marry you. Did he think that was a punishment for me? I tilted my head, smiling genuinely. Thank you for your blessings. The case against Lily quickly reached a conclusion. She was sentenced to 1 year and 3 months, a small punishment for her venomous mouth and malicious heart. As for the Jiang family's down jackets, they were already unsellable without my sales support, coupled with the massive number of returns. Now, all of the Jiang family's down jackets were piled up, rotting in the factory. 2 months later, the Jiang family's factory went bankrupt. Everything was sold off, but it still wasn't enough to pay the workers' salaries. Ethan's father suggested that the workers take some down jackets home, but who needs so many down jackets? The Jiang family's down jackets now had a bad reputation. No one would buy them even if they were resold. Now, every day, workers would run to the Jiang family's doorstep, shouting and demanding their wages. Although they were dispersed by residential security and the police, these workers still found ways to harass them. However, people didn't have much time to make a fuss. They still had to continue looking for work to support themselves and their families. In less than half a year, no one came to the Jiang family's house to make a fuss anymore. The Jiang family had also sold their villa and had moved into an ordinary apartment complex. For the past 6 months, I hadn't seen Ethan again, until today. A food brand approached me, wanting me to help them sell their products. The young owner of the brand scheduled a meeting with me. These brand owners, of course, weren't all like this, but many of them looked like nouveau rich. Today, the Mr. Han I met was just like that. When I walked into the private room, he was smoking a cigar, his legs crossed, swaying in his chair. Seeing me, he curled his lips into a smile, thinking he was very charming. Ms. Song, you're here, please have a seat. Then he took out a cigar and offered it to me. Care for one? I smiled, waving my hand. Mr. Han, let's get straight to business, no need to rush. Mr. Han chuckled, then clapped his hands. The door to the private room opened, and a relatively tall waiter pushed in a cart. I looked closely. It turned out to be Ethan. I remembered that this Mr. Han used to be friends with Ethan. Seeing me and Mr. Han, Ethan was also stunned, a flicker of discomfort and embarrassment crossing his face. Mr. Han, still holding the cigar in his mouth, said, What are you looking at? Is Ms. Song someone you're allowed to stare at? Hurry and serve the food. Ethan bowed his head, his hands trembling as he carried a bowl of soup to the table. Mr. Han suddenly shoved Ethan. What kind of service is this? Serving dishes from left to right, top to bottom, don't you know that? Call your manager here. The soup spilled all over Ethan. He clenched his fists, raising his head to stare at Mr. Han. Mr. Han suddenly burst out laughing. I thought you looked familiar. Turns out it's you, Ethan. How did you fall so low, working as a waiter now? Ethan turned his head to look at me. Ava, is this what you wanted? He coldly averted his gaze, turned, and quickly left. I didn't understand why he kept blaming everything on me. Did I owe him a life in a previous one? I smiled at Mr. Han. My usual commission is 30% plus a bonus for every 10,000 orders. Mr. Han, if you can accept that, then we can cooperate. After dinner, as I stepped out of the hotel and was about to get into my car, Ethan rushed over. Ava, I've been fired from the hotel. Are you satisfied now? He asked me if I was satisfied again asterisk. My voice had completely recovered. Now I could speak clearly to him. Ask yourself, this is the result of the joke you played on me. Are you satisfied? I didn't need Ethan to answer, getting directly into my car and leaving. Back home, Chloe was waiting. I told her about Ethan working as a waiter at the hotel and getting fired. Chloe took a deep breath. Don't tell me you're getting soft again, Ava. No way, he treated you like that and you're still pitying him. I warn you, you're not to get back together with him. Otherwise, we're not friends anymore. It's not just because he was awful to you before, but now he's also broke. You won't have a single happy day if you're with him. You have to distinguish between diamonds and dirty snails, you know. I couldn't help but laugh. When did I say I pitied him? Your friend here is indeed a beauty with a kind heart, but I'm definitely not stupid. Chloe turned around, retching. My registered down jacket brand had begun production. I acted as the spokesperson myself. The Jiang family's down jacket business was considered completely collapsed, but what I completely didn't expect was that Ethan came to find me. He looked even more pathetic now than on the day Mr. Han intentionally humiliated him. Ava, I know I was wrong. Will you give me another chance? He shed tears of regret. I believed he truly regretted it. After all, he ended up in this situation precisely because of that joke. How could he not regret it? Ava, we clearly loved each other, and I loved you. Why did we end up like this? I just said one sentence. Your best friend is about to be released from prison. Go find her. The moment I took a step, Ethan chased after me again. Ava, are you jealous? He asked excitedly, then quickly explained, but I don't love her at all. Ava, from beginning to end, I've only loved you. I suddenly remembered when Lily first returned to the country. She had no boundaries with Ethan at all. At that time, both of them explained to me. Lily said, don't misunderstand. We grew up together since we were tiny babies. I've seen every inch of him. If I had any feelings for him, would it even be your turn? Ethan also said, I've never seen her as a girl. The disgusting faces of the two of them, when I drank the chilly water, flashed before my eyes. I should have broken up with Ethan much earlier. Ethan, I called his name coldly, then continued, I don't love you anymore. In fact, now, just looking at you makes me sick. Don't ever appear in front of me again. In the second year, not long after Lily was released from prison, I received a wedding invitation from Ethan and Lily. Did they want to flaunt it to me? I smiled, shaking my head, and tossed the invitation directly into the trash, then continued working. For me now, my career was the most important thing. Ethan and Lily actually got married. In truth, those two probably liked each other from the beginning. Before, they just used the title of best friends to cover it up. People like that are truly disgusting. After Lily was released from prison, I only coincidentally met her once. She stroked her belly. I'm pregnant with Ethan's child. Actually, I shouldn't have given Ethan to you. Now I'm just taking back the love that originally belonged to me. Ethan always said he saw me as a friend, but in reality, he just didn't dare to break the relationship between us. He was afraid that if we broke up later, we wouldn't even be friends. But I will always be by his side. I'm not just his friend, but also his wife. I will also start over with him. Ava, you will regret this. I smiled and nodded. If she was happy, that was fine. I wasn't a saint, but things shouldn't be done too harshly. After all, she had already served time in prison for her mistakes. Now, their marriage was their freedom. Let them cling to each other. I would live a happy life, and that was enough.